Greetings of universal peace to you. This is Jacob Rhythmic Dragon at the Foundation for the Law of Time. I'm here with you for the Noos-letter of the Foundation for the Law of Time, issue number 122. Again, we call ourselves the Noos-letter because the intention is to provide a voice for the Noosphere, a medium through which the Noosphere can communicate. We're making conscious the fact that every individual human mind as one sum total represents the awakening noosphere, that is the mind sphere of the entire planet. And so the Noos-letter is to provide an outlet for noospheric consciousness and awareness. So here I'm with you with the noospheric inoculation into your cyberspheric device for this rhythmic moon of equality. It's the rhythmic lizard moon of equality, where we ask ourselves, how can I extend my equality to others? And so that is also right in line with the notion of the noosphere, as we're all equal parts of the noosphere. So in the rhythmic moon, we have the keywords of organizing, balance, and equality. And the totem animal is the lizard. And I'm excited to share with you some interesting things I learned about a particular species of lizard in Southern California called the splotch-sided lizard, or side-splotched lizard. It has a little dark splotch on its side. And this lizard, and I learned this from a video, I think it's a channel called Deep Look, and I'll provide a link to it in the description of this video. But this species of lizard has a fascinating and perfect representation of the lizard as the perfect totem animal for balance. This species of lizard has three different types of males, and they interact in a perfectly balanced way, much like rock, paper, and scissors do in the game Rochambeau, or rock, paper, scissors. So there are three different types of males, and they each have a specific strategy for propagating, or for, say, defending their territory and expanding their family. So there are, and there are three different colors. There's an orange male, a yellow male, and a blue male. The orange male, his strategy is that he's very aggressive, and he gathers up as many female companions as he can, and he defends his territory very aggressively. And then there's a yellow lizard who's very sneaky, and he will sneak and steal a mate. He doesn't claim territory at all. He's always sneaking around and stealing mates, basically from the territory of the orange lizard. And then the blue lizard, it has a strategy where it only chooses one mate, and it's completely monogamous with that one mate. And also, all the blue lizards work together. So, you know, if one blue lizard sees one of the yellow lizards coming, trying to sneak and steal one of the mates, they communicate through little push-ups that something's going on. So all the blue lizards work together, which is not the case for the yellow and the orange ones. So these three strategies perfectly balance each other out. Hey guys, the software recording this video just died out in the middle of explaining that lizard thing. So the three strategies of the males, they balance each other out. So this is how it works. The yellow male beats the orange male, because the orange male has so many females he can't keep track of them. So the yellow sneaky male sneaks in, steals the female. The orange male beats the blue male because he's so aggressive, and he just takes, and the blue male only has one partner. And the blue lizard beats the yellow sneaky lizard because they're so vigilant. They only have the one partner, they're completely focused and dedicated on them, and so that yellow lizard can never come in and sneak and steal one away. Back to the rest of the video. Okay, we're back. Looks like the technosphere can't handle our noospheric injection into the cybersphere as something happened with the software. So to wrap up what I was saying about the lizards, so all three of these males have perfectly balanced strategies that allow each other to keep each other in check. And now what's amazing about this whole arrangement is the female does not participate in these games at all. She has her own strategy, and her strategy is that she will prefer whichever color of lizard is most rare for that season. So in that way, the whole species keeps itself completely balanced, and it's been this way, they say, for 15 million years. And say if the female stopped doing their preferential strategy, then one of those blue, orange, or yellow lizards would end up being the one that takes over entirely, and the other ones would evolve out of the gene pool, and it would they would evolve into just this one type. So I thought that was a very fascinating thing to share with you about the rhythmic lizard and their balance. And since we're talking about the Noos-letter, I also want to read a little passage to you from the 260 Postulates of the Dynamics of Time. This is an excellent book. It's you can get it as a free, you can get an ebook version from lawoftime.org, and you can also get a paperback version from lawoftime.org. And there's a chapter in here called The Law of Time and the Biosphere-Noosphere Transition. I'm just going to read a couple postulates from here to speak towards the Noosphere, because the Noosphere is coded by the 1320 frequency, which is the frequency of time that is represented through all the codes of the 13-moon calendar. So here we are, postulate 5.5. And you can always just rewind and re-listen to this because it's a bit dense. So here it goes. So 5.5. Within the biosphere, which is wholly an intelligent function of the galactic brain, there is a fourth-dimensional auto-regulatory system known as the psi bank. By means of the 1320 frequency, the psi bank synchronizes the mathematical program of the DNA into a recording and memory storage system. 5.6. The psi bank is the, quote, brain of the biosphere, the guiding force of the evolution of time and consciousness governing the evolutionary stages of the biosphere. As the repository of all thought, unconscious and conscious, the psi bank remains in the instinctual unconscious until the advent of self-reflective thought. The noosphere is the psi bank made into the continuing conscious regulator of life. So highly recommend getting yourself a copy of this book by Jose Arguelles, Volume Votan. This is a tremendously helpful book for learning about the law of time and its fundamental, say, the dynamics of time. So you can see that we humans represent the advent of self-reflective thought, and so therefore we are the awakening noosphere. One little last thing I'd like to share with you about the lizard is a short little Galactic haiku that I wrote that's included in the Galactic Times e-zine, which is a free download on lawoftime.org. You just go to, I think, the What We Do section in the menu, and that says free e-zine on the side. So a galactic haiku, if you know, a normal haiku has 5 syllables, 7 syllables, then 5 syllables. A galactic haiku has 4, 7, 7, and then 13 syllables. And before I read the poem, I'll tell you a little bit about that, because those numbers represents a key ratio in the mathematics of the law of time, which is known as 4 is to 7 as 7 is to 13. And here's my little visual aid. As you can see, if you write the numbers 1 to 7, 4 is in the center. If you write the numbers 1 to 13, 7 is in the center. And that's why we have the ratio 4 is to 7 as 7 is to 13. So keep that in mind, because next moon I'll speak about that a little bit as well for the next issue of the Noos-letter. But 4 is to 7 as 7 is to 13. And you can see this represented in every moon of the 13-moon calendar, where every heptad, every 7-day week, the 4th day of the week is precisely in the center, and that goes right down the center of the moon that way. Such as, oops, there goes a pencil flying. There you go. So the very center column here is the 4th day of the week. That's in the center. So 4 is to 7. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. 4 is to 7, right in the middle. And then, of course, there's 13 moons, and so there's a 7 to 13 ratio there as well. So without further ado, here's that galactic haiku for our lizard moon for you guys. Like the lizard, steady, balanced, and certain, I call upon that in me. Unblinkingly I advance, though still I remain. So there's a little galactic haiku for you guys. So let's dive into the codes for this moon, the rhythmic moon. So if you remember the end of last moon, we were in the blue western castle of burning, the 52-day cycle. And of course, we're in the 65-day cycle of the yellow sun season of enlightenment. But last moon, we completed it within the blue western castle of burning, the court of magic. That's a 52-day cycle, a structure in time that we were in. And this moon, the first 3 days of this moon are the final 3 days of that castle. So we complete the blue western castle of burning, and after that we move to the yellow southern castle of giving, court of intelligence. And it's the perfect timing for that for those of us who, say, celebrate Christmas in this or a holiday during this holiday season. It's nice to emphasize the energy of giving. So here we are in the yellow southern castle of giving. So just to recap, those first 3 days of the moon are finishing the blue western castle of burning, which is also completing the yellow seed wave spell of flowering. And then after that, we're going into the yellow southern castle of giving, and that begins with the red earth wave spell, the power of synchronicity, evolution, and navigation. The red earth wave spell. And all 13 days of that wave spell are in this moon, of course. And that following that wave spell, we move into the white dog wave spell of love, loyalty, and heart. So the 3 wave spells represented in this moon of equality are the little bit of the seed flowering wave spell, a little bit, the entirety of the earth navigating wave spell, and almost all of the love dog wave spell. So we have the first 12 days of the dog wave spell finishes up the moon for us. So another thing that's remarkable about this moon is that December 21st of this moon will be exactly, that's the solstice, the winter solstice in the northern hemisphere and summer solstice in the southern hemisphere, of course. This will be exactly 7 years from the conclusion of the 5,125-year galactic synchronization acceleration beam, which concluded on December 21st, 2012, if we all remember that. And so in that particular, on this day, this 7-year anniversary will be 7 years hence since, let's say, that world hologram dissolved and we entered into a new hologram, a new galactic beam, which is always working on our behalf in the invisible realms. So it's helpful to remember that a new reality is being created, and through your willingness to participate in such a thing. So that is going to be the 7-year anniversary. That's going to be the 9th day of this moon on Kin 162, white rhythmic wind. Another interesting thing is that, of course, Gregorian New Year 2020 will be happening in this moon, and that's going to be on the 20th day of the moon. So on day 20, we'll go into 2020 this year. So that's a nice synchronization between the 13 moon codes, polling along that 12-month Gregorian calendar of nonsense, saying no matter what, we're keeping the synchronicity real. So that's happening. That's going to actually be on a galactic activation portal day. So with that, I'll go over the galactic activation portal days for this moon. And this is the 6th moon, and it just so happens that there are exactly 6 galactic activation portals this moon. The first 2 days of the moon, white spectral wizard and blue crystal eagle, are galactic activation portal days, releasing receptivity and universalizing mind, releasing receptivity, spectral wizard, universalizing mind, the crystal eagle. And then the next galactic portal day is on day 12 of the moon, on Christmas Eve, as it were, on Kin 165, red solar serpent, realizing instinct. And then the next one is on the rhythmic moon, day 15, and that is Kin 168, yellow crystal star, universalizing art, Then the next galactic portal is on New Year's Day 2020, Kin 173, red self-existing skywalker, which is a huge starting point of the Cosmic History Chronicles. You can read about that in the Cosmic History Chronicles or in the Time, Synchronicity, and Calendar Change book by Stephanie South. So Gregorian New Year's, galactic portal, self-existing skywalker, measuring wakefulness. And then the final galactic portal is on day 23 of the moon, Kin 176, yellow resonant warrior. That'll be on January 4th, and that is inspiring fearlessness. That day, as a matter of fact, I also like to tell you about the Pakal Votan clear sign days in the calendar, and you can read about that at lawoftime.org/clear signs. Those are the symbols that are clearly inscribed on the sarcophagus lid of the Mayan sage time traveler Pakal and Kin 176, yellow resonant warrior, is one of those, and that happens to be the only clear sign for this moon. So that's something to just remain cognizant of as you move through this moon. And I believe that is it. I did want to encourage you guys again to get a hold of a copy of the 260 Postulates of the Dynamics of Time, and also check out the Galactic e-zine. You can get that as a free download at lawoftime.org. And remember, in the description of this video, I'll include a link to that fascinating lizard video for you guys. So hope you enjoy this, and I wish you all the best for this rhythmic moon of equality.